Hey everybody, welcome to TIW Podcast. I'm Eric, and today I watched WWE SmackDown episode 1094 and 205 Live episode 191, both broadcast on August 7th, 2020. So just a quick recap. I skimmed through the episode just so I could talk about the matches that took place of 205 Live. We had two matches and also a replay from NXT where Legado had kidnapped Fandango and issued a statement to all of 205 Live, but also more specifically to Isaiah Swerve Scott. So that was in the middle of this episode, that replay, but we opened up with Everrise versus Mikey Spandex and Marquis Carter. Everrise got a much-needed win. For them, it's a much-needed win, as they have been fairly unsuccessful so far in their recent matches. And then we also had Danny Burch versus Tony Nese, and Danny Burch won that match. So go check it out, especially if you are a fan of Everrise, Tony Nese, or Danny Burch. Maybe not if you're a fan of Tony. No, you get to still see him in some really good in-ring action. And maybe you're a new fan of Mikey and Marquis. So anyway, that's just a quick overview of 205 Live. It's interesting skipping forward and backwards, kind of. This episode broadcast immediately after SmackDown, and the end of SmackDown had the ring ropes destroyed, the ring, the plexiglass around the ring covered in graffiti. And so there's no mention of it. They did talk about how the week has been very chaotic at the top of the episode. Again, Drew Gulak and Vic Joseph on commentary for this episode of 205 Live, which is fantastic. So there was no mention, whether off screen or not, that this episode was filmed before the events of SmackDown. So a little bit jarring if you watch it back to back. Not really jarring, I guess, but interesting. That the presentation of it is such that it is. Anyway, they're probably going to replay it in the Hulu, on the Hulu version of this. If I had to guess, but I have not checked that out. All right, so let's talk about SmackDown. Starting at the ending after the main event. No, we'll start at the beginning. We had Sheamus versus Matt Riddle. Riddle won via disqualification when Shorty G attacked Riddle during the match. Sheamus then attacked Shorty G and is very mad at Baron Corbin for ruining his opportunity, because this was a step towards possibly challenging for the Intercontinental Championship or the Universal Championship, maybe, I don't know. So then we had an episode of Miz TV with special guest Sonya Deville. She's looking super awesome with that black suit. And they have a whole bit about Mandy's hair. And they end up with the catchphrase, "Hair yeah." Which, wait. Which show is Byron on right now? He's not on SmackDown. I think Byron would have really enjoyed saying "Hair yeah," like he did back when Steve Austin was on, but in that first episode without an audience. Also, I think this week's episode or last week's episode marks the Performance Center being the host for the most episodes of SmackDown. The previous record holder was the arena in Chicago, Allstate Arena. So that's a pretty interesting little factoid there. So it's either last week or this week that sets a new record. I think maybe for this episode it tied, and then this coming week it'll be a new record. Anyway, on Miz TV, they're talking about Mandy's hair, and then they're having some sound problems. Miz and Morrison make a pass and comment, "Oh, I thought Retribution was only on Raw." Haha. Turns out they're not, just on Raw. Sonya said that there's no respect for her, or that she has no respect for Mandy anymore from what she's become, and that there's all kinds of meats and cheeses in the script. I don't even what did I write down? I don't know what I wrote down. But yeah, then Heavy Machinery come out and they attack Miz and Morrison, and that sets up the match, the main event match for the night. Later on, Heavy Machinery versus Miz and Morrison, and Sonya Deville makes the entrance with them, and she has her ring gear on, and it is pretty awesome in combination with Miz and Morrison, with the slow motion for Morrison's entrance and everything. It's really cool. I like it a lot. Even more so than when she was entering with Dolph and whoever else. I think it was just with Dolph. Anyway. Up next, we had Cesaro versus Lince Dorado. Continue this feud between the Lucha House Party and the tag team champions. Cesaro won that match. No surprise at all, because Cesaro is the best ever at wrestling in the entire universe, or at least in the world. Up next, we had The Fiend arrive, and Alexa was there in the ring again after the commercial break, and kind of a replay of the end of last week, but this time Alexa stops him from doing the mandible claw, and then puts her hand on his face as if to seduce him, or maybe she's been seducted. I don't know. It's very strange, and it's pretty cool. So I dig it. I want to see what happens next here with Alexa. Nikki Cross did not appear on this episode, but it is I assume that she will be in the triple brand, the 3-brand, cross brand, whatever they're calling it, Battle Royal, to determine who Bayley's opponent at SummerSlam will be. That gets announced by Stephanie McMahon, who also confirms that Asuka versus Bayley will determine if Asuka will fight Sasha Banks at SummerSlam for the Raw Women's Championship. So I was jumping ahead here, but The Fiend, Braun Strowman comes on the screen. He is very, very close to his camera, but he says, I knew I was going to come out of that shredded into pieces, or as the most evil SOB ever. And here I am. I'm not shredded into pieces, so I am the most evil. So Braun is evil now. He is a monster. Just a monster. Not a monster among men. He is simply just a monster. And he is going after The Fiend. We had Jeff Hardy versus Baron Corbin, but Jeff Hardy wins via disqualification because Sheamus comes out and attacks and then goes after Corbin. Then we get Sheamus versus Baron Corbin. Sheamus wins after Matt Riddle comes out, distracts Baron Corbin. He might have even kicked him. I'm not sure. On the replay, it looked like he just jumped in there and then ran off, kind of weird. But then I saw a photo and it was him kicking Corbin. So I don't know. I don't know exactly. But Sheamus wins because he hits a big old brogue kick. And there you go. The feud, the intermingling feuds here continue. And then we had the Sasha and Bayley. They were needed for a video conference with Stephanie McMahon in the ring as they were being, I think they were just hanging out backstage or something. And then Stephanie McMahon makes those announcements. Then we had the main event, Heavy Machinery versus Miz and Morrison. During it, Mandy comes out and attacks. The referee calls for the bell, and then but then the lights go out. Is it The Fiend? No, not this time. It is Retribution. They arrive. It is a group of 5. Pretty sure 3 men and 2 women. I retract my prediction that one of them is Jessamine Duke, as you can see their hair sticking out of the back of their outfits, and none of their hair was blonde, of the two with long hair. So I retract that prediction. I now have no idea who is in that group. Maybe Vanessa Bourne is in there. Her hair might match one of those, but we'll see what happens. They chase everybody off. They chase off the camera people, which I thought that was pretty cool. But then after that, from that point on, it was like a really long kind of hype up spray painting celebration ordeal. So yeah, I thought it kind of fizzled out there at the end. That it could have had a lot more impact, been a lot more exciting if it ended like right after. They also picked on Jessie Kamea. I think that was her that they like cornered and like were trying to like intimidate and stuff. And if I think that Jessie could have beaten up all of them. And that is why that she was not standing up, because she would have been like a foot taller than all of them. But anyway, I'm interested to see what's going on here. Why are they going? And I realized something. So they cut the ropes there on SmackDown. Back on Monday, Raw Underground was fought in a wrestling ring, but just with posts, no ropes among the posts. So I'm wondering, was Raw Underground meant to be without ring ropes to begin with, or had Retribution already attacked Raw Underground and destroyed those ropes? Interesting. Very interesting choices. So it's most likely just coincidence that we're seeing that there, but yeah, I'm excited to see what happens next. Things are very strange. Things are very interesting. And this is all happening before SummerSlam. So is this leading to something specific for SummerSlam? I hope so. It's got to. At least like one or two matches have to be associated with this. Or all of SummerSlam will just be some crazy dream-like scenario. I don't know. So yeah, I would very much like to hear what you thought about these episodes of SmackDown and 205 Live. What were your favorite moments? My favorite thing was hair. Yeah, that's why the episode is called that. And also, anytime Sonya was on screen was fantastic. Also, Mandy, when she attacked, revealed her shorter haircut, and I think that it looks pretty awesome. So both of them are killing it, and Miz and Morrison are really, really interesting. Heavy Machineries are like, all of that is great. Cesaro killing it as always in the ring. Some of the other stuff I'm not entirely on board with, as far as get Sheamus going after that championship, man. He's got to get that Ultimate Grand Slam. If that would be a perfect match to have. Man, Sheamus versus AJ Styles at SummerSlam, and Sheamus wins. How great would that be? But I don't know. We'll see what happens. So that is it for this episode. Let me know what you thought by tweeting me at TIW Podcast. Go to TIWpodcast.com for more reviews. If you enjoyed this episode or anything else on the site, please share some links with your friends. Subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, YouTube, wherever you like to listen. Stay safe, healthy, and happy out there in all the infinite multiverses. And I'll see you next time here on TIW Podcast. Bye.